Welcome to What Shape Are You In? Okay, I've been off, well not off, I just wait till I'm inspired before I come and do my talk, and I'm inspired this morning. I'm pumped up and ready to go. It's raining real hard here in Blackstone, and our roof leaked. So I had to go find one leak and put a pan under it and go up on the roof and put a tarp on the other. And you know, our life is full of leaks. Wouldn't it be nice if we could have a life without leaks? Or at least if we had a leak, we would be able to stop it when it leaks. See, the problem with a leak is that you get a leak and it just goes on, and then like with this one, well, when it wasn't raining, I didn't go up and put the tarp up there. So it wasn't raining. So then it rained again and it leaked. And now I had to go up in the rain to put the tarp up there, which I should have done when it was dry. But the point is, the thing about leaks is that they drive us crazy. Not only do they damage the house, but you get this drip, 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 drip. Even a faucet can keep you awake at night. So a leak is stress, metaphorically. So let's look at that. Our life is full of leaks, which is full of stress. That means there's holes in our defenses. There's holes in our control. We can't stop the leak. We put the patch here and it leaks over there. We put the patch there and it leaks over there. Wherever we try to stop the leak, it leaks over there. It's like a waterbed. You push down on the bubble here, it comes up over there. You push it down over there and you get angry. I'm going to push down this time really hard. You push down real hard, boom, and a bigger bubble comes up behind you. What's going on? I don't understand it. You see, logically, if I'd stop the leak, that should end all leaks, metaphorically speaking. So let's take a look at leaks as stress, since we can all relate to it. And so the leaking is the stress cycle. Now, a stress cycle is like leaks in the sense that when it's sunny, oh, I'm perfectly good. I'm happy. Everything's in control. Then suddenly I got the stress. And now I'm caught up in a stress cycle. And the more I try to get out of the stress, the more the stress happens. And it becomes a whirlpool. It becomes a vortex. And I'm being sucked down. And now I have a panic attack. Now I get anxiety. I'm worried. I'm worried about worrying. And now I'm sorry about being sorry about being sorry about being sorry about being worrying about anxiety. And I'm going down, down, down. And now my body starts reacting to it. The body's saying, what the fuck's going on? Are we dying? And so it reacts, you see. And we go down, down, down until we stabilize. We got to stabilize. We got to stabilize. So I grab hold of something, just like when you're at sea and the ship starts going. You got to grab hold of something. When there's an earthquake, you got to grab. But when there's an earthquake, everything's shaking. You can't grab onto anything. So stress is kind of like that. It's an earthquake of the mind where you can't. There's nothing stable because everything is the mind. Where can you go that your mind is not? Where can you go in your mind, which is the world, that there is something that's stable? So let's take a look at breaking the stress cycle. Just got a few minutes, so we'll take a hit at it. I had this is a little chart I had a long time ago, but you can see here, this is the stress cycle. And the world attacks here, right there. Some conditions change, something happens, you got a leak. And so then the body begins and the mind begins to react with thinking. And you get first thing that happens is a posture of depression and helplessness, negative thinking. And then you get rapid and shallow breathing. And then you get looking for danger. And then you get tense muscles. Painful muscle spasms, and then you get stress-related diseases, and then you get flight or fight. Well, actually, that's where it enters: fight or flight reaction. This is an old transcendental meditation chart that when something attacks you and your order is just you got a leak, there is a fight or flight. I got to fight it or I got to run from it, and that creates a cycle, which in mythology is the Ouroboros. which is the snake eating its own tail. And we like to watch little YouTubes of dogs chasing their tail or cats chasing their tail. It's so funny, you see. But it's a symbol of our mind caught in a stress cycle. So we laugh at it. Oh, look at a dog chasing his tail. While at the same time, I'm chasing my own tail when I get in a stress cycle. If you say, you could say worry cycle, reactive thinking cycle. There's different names for it. Vortex, whirlpool. You all know what a whirlpool looks like. You see one in a stream or a river, and it swirls and it sucks everything into it, or in a tub. Who takes a tub bed? Fill a tub up, pull the plug out, watch the whirlpool and say, oh, that's me when I'm caught in a stress cycle, right there. And you can see it draws all the foam and everything into it, and it goes down, and say, where does it go? You see, when you look at a whirlpool in a river, where does it go? It seems like the whole river is being sucked into a drain, but there's no drain. Where does it go, you see? So when you're caught in a stress cycle, the fear is, where am I going? You see, I'm going to disappear in a void. I'm going to be not me. And that's worse than death, being not me, having to lose my center of me, to having lose what I hold on to, you see, to stabilize this world of data. You see, we live in a data snowstorm, so we have to stabilize it with our mind, hold on to God and Jesus and political leaders and cults and anything, my parent, my grandfather, my brother, anybody. My pet stabilizes me. You see, I can even hold on to my pet when there's a cycle. Anything that is not my thinking. So let's take a look at this briefly. What we're interested in then is not, when you're caught in a stress cycle, is not how to fix it or how to get out of it, because you can't. Because everything you do is part of the whirlpool, you see. So these, what I have listed here, basically, are 1, 2, 3, 4 ways. What we're interested in here is intervention. You know, when we have an alcoholic neighbor or friend or family member, or somebody who's caught in a vortex of repeated behavior, oh, well, let's have an intervention. And we all get together, and when the person comes in and he said, what's going on? And everybody smiles. We're going to have an intervention. We're going to break up your stress cycle. You see, because this is habit. This is the habit mind. So when the stress comes, the habit mind clicks into automatic pilot, and wow, 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 we go, you see. And that addiction does that. As soon as I quit. But then somebody puts a beer in front of you, and the next thing you know, your left hand drank it, and the next thing you know, you stayed in the bar all night. And you just went there to tell somebody their taxi was ready. And, hey, have a drink. Oh, no. Well, okay, just one. And the next thing you know, they're back in the stress cycle, you see. So we're going to have an intervention, which means that we have to come in here and break the cycle. You have a whirlpool in a river or in a bathtub. If you stick your hand in the whirlpool, it breaks it up. So the intervention has to come in from outside, not from inside the stress cycle. Breaking it up from the outside. Now, in spiritual practice and in therapy, in yoga, all of these traditions are basically practices that interrupt the stress cycle, or the thought cycle, or the thinking mind that caught up. See, thinking is cyclical, thinking itself is going to be an Ouroboros. It can be quiet, or it can be stormy, but at the same time, it's thinking, eating, thinking. Trying to get out of what? Trying to get out of thinking. And because our culture tells us that we are because we think, we don't believe there is anything that is not thinking. So if there is nothing of me that's not thinking, then where can I go to have an intervention? What can I use to have an intervention without relying on a therapist or a priest or my friends to intervene, you see? What can I do? What tool can I use to break up the Ouroboros, to stop it just for a moment? If it stops just for a second, you can see you're free from it, because the seeing of the Ouroboros is not in the Ouroboros. The seeing of the pattern is not the pattern. If you see the whirlpool in your tub from outside the tub or outside the river, you're standing on a riverbank and you see the big whirlpool there, you see the whole thing. But if you're in the whirlpool, you can't see it. If you're caught in the riptide, you see, you're struggling against it. If you're in, all you know when you're in it is struggle. So, what are some of the ways, briefly, that I listed here? Well, first of all, if you're going to intervene in the vortex of the mind, you have to find something that is not thinking. And the first thing that is always portable, that is always present, that we carry with us, is breath. Breath. So when I notice that I'm caught in the vortex, that's the first step. I have to know, there it is, you see, not who did it, or, you see, the vortex requires somebody to cause it. And there's going to be two causes we can choose from. Either somebody did it or I'm doing it. But either way, there's somebody who's doing it to me. But in the vortex of the mind, I am the somebody and the me. So that is part of the vortex, is to make me believe there's a cause for the vortex that's not me. Even if I blame me, I'm blaming me as an object in time. I'm doing it to myself, you see. Well, if you're doing it to yourself and you're still doing it, you obviously are still in the vortex. It's kind of like self-cutting. So, breath. All right, so the first step is noticing that I'm caught in a vortex. And this is not a judgment. This is not saying, oh, I'm stupid, I'm doing it again, oh my God, and hitting myself. You see, that's just the vortex. Self-hitting is the vortex. So if I just see that I'm doing it, kind of like I see that I'm salivating in my mind right now, I noticed some saliva, maybe I'd be a little thirsty. And I'm not saying, oh my God, I'm salivating again. Oh my God, will they? No, I just noticed that it is, you see. So you just notice that you're in a pattern, that you're doing something. And then, after noticing, you go to something that is not thinking, which is, in this case, breath. So what you're doing there is shifting attention from the me eating itself, you see, to breath, which is not thinking. But let me, this is really interesting. Let me put this up here. Okay. You notice something here? See, this stabilizes it. See that little dot there? That would be, in this case, breath. So when I go to my breath, I can practice stabilizing the vortex. Or, and I don't have enough time to go into this, but I've got 4 ways here. Stretch and release tension. That's yoga. Yoga intervenes in the stress cycle. Allow and forgive the grievances. That's religion. That's Christianity. That's Jesus right there. Allow and forgive the grievances breaks the worry cycle, because the worry cycle is based on grievance, the past. Conscious breathing is another. And being mindful. Mindfulness is a very popular practice now. It just like when I said right then, I'm mindful of the saliva in my mouth. That's mindfulness. I'm not doing anything about it. I'm not saying I'm wrong or right, you see. I don't try to end it. I just notice it. You just notice what you're doing without judgment, without reluctance, without apologizing. You see, you just notice it. And then noticing is intervening in this. Now, before we close, do you see an ohm here? Now, an ohm is Om. Om is the sound of the Big Bang in mythology. And so it looks like the symbol is that. That's Om. That includes all sound. It's stable. And you look at here, I noticed this one day when I was drawing my Ouroboros, it's an ohm. You see, boom, 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 boom. So you can change the dragon of the stress cycle to the piece of ohm by learning how to intervene in the stress cycle when it is happening. If you intervene after it's happened, a day after, say, oh, I'll never do that again. That's good, but it's not breaking the stress cycle because you have to break it while it's going on. It has to be in real time, not in yesterday's time, or I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it yesterday. No, that's okay. But nothing is really going to happen until you catch your hand in the cookie jar and the lights come on and you've been denying, I don't steal the cookies. Who's taking the cookies? I don't know. It's not me. It's not me. And then one night you steal the cookies in the dark. You don't even know you're doing it. And the mother turns the light on. Uh-oh. I'm caught in the cookie jar. I see the pattern. So intervening is the light in different tools or ways we use to break up the whirlpool of stress. And with practice, we have to reverse the inertia, the habit of a lifetime. The habit of a lifetime is called karma, and we all have it. Our culture has it. All life has this inertia of karma, inertia of the past repeating itself, the cycles of history and stress, doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different answer, a different result, you see. This is life. And awakening is seeing that and discovering a way to intervene by just seeing, by just finding that which is not part of the cycle. So anyway, this is a deep subject, and thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Stop your leaks. Stop your leaks. Thanks for dropping in.